So we are live
Yay, I
on
see that.
Facebook.
I see that.
And okay, great. So I'm just waiting for the video to get visible. Perfect. Good morning, Facebook. Thank you so much for joining, and you are welcome to the Civilized Presence. So just give Facebook 2 minutes to get this video available to everyone. I am excited to have you here. Thank you for your patience.
Thank you.
All right. Do you see the video already?
I see live on Facebook. So
Okay,
I see you, I see me. So
perfect. So the video is coming on. I think it should be on in a minute.
if it gives you an option to tag me, then please do.
Yes,
I don't know if
I'm
it
gonna
does
do
that.
that. It does.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I haven't seen the video here yet. I'm waiting
Okay.
for it to come on Facebook.
Okay.
Welcome, Facebook. Let me know where you're joining
Hi,
us from.
Facebook.
I am looking for the video. We're using a different platform this morning, and so things are gonna run just slightly bit different.
Mm.
Okay. All right. It's not here yet. Okay. If you can see the live video, just give us a thumbs up, and maybe that's gonna show up here. We're live somewhere on Facebook. Just not
Yes, we
sure where
are.
we are.
I see it. I
I'm just
see it.
not sure exactly where. So I'm looking for this video. This is interesting today. Okay. So guys, you're sending me messages. Give me a minute. The video is coming. I don't know where the video is. Wow. This is interesting this morning. Oh
Are
my
you seeing
goodness.
comments from them? People who are there?
Yeah, I'm saying like a messages in my inbox. People are looking for the video. They cannot find it.
Can
So
anyone see the video? Can anyone see us? Say hello. Tag
yeah,
us. Put
come
a
on in.
comment.
Right. Say something. Somersault dance. Let's just see you.
Throw up an emoji.
Okay. All right. So something is up. This is not showing. Okay. All right. I see it now. This is interesting. Okay. So we're sharing this publicly. The video has now been shared on my timeline. Okay. All right.
We're good?
Yes, we're getting there. Perfect. So Naomi, I have it on your page now.
Oh,
Oh, it
awesome.
says that you do not allow people, so you might have to share it.
No, I'll
Oh,
do that. Yes, so
that's
I
okay.
have that privacy on
So,
my timeline, but as soon as we're done, I'll open it up.
okay,
But it would
perfect.
have been
Sounds
good
good.
if I could now, so people could join us.
Yes.
Maybe can I get out and do it? You would still be
Okay.
here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Give me a
So
sec.
just do that for us. That is going to be fantastic. Welcome,
Mm.
everyone. Thank you so much for being here. This is the Civilized Presence. You are in the right place. Just give us a moment. I'm trying to get this video to everyone. I can see that people are jumping on in. Thank you so much for making out time to be here. Come on in. If you can see the video, come on in and just say a quick hello. It is a great topic that we're discussing today, so you do not want to miss out. We just kind of changed things around this morning, and this is why we are um, okay. All right. So thank you so much, Finbar. It's great to have you. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Thank you. So, guys, let me know where you're joining us from. Esther, it's great to have you here. Thank you, Finbar. It's great to have you. Sandra, it's great to have you. Thank you. Thank you so much for making out time to be here. I'm just waiting for a moment. Ricky, it's so good to have you here, my friend. Thank you. I'm waiting just to have my guest back, and we should be able to rock and roll. Naomi, are you back now?
Yes, I'm back.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Perfect. All right. So we're ready to go. Ricky, it's great to have you. Sandra, it's great to have you. Sibyl, it's great to have you. Thank you so much, everyone who has made out time to be here. It's the Civilized Presence. You are in the
Hi.
right place. Thank you. Thank you. Now it's getting busy. Thank you. Thank you, Dee from Canada. Vivi, it's great to have you. AT, it's great to have you. Guys, let me know where you're joining us from. So we're using the Zoom this morning, so things are a little different. So come on in. Thank you for the likes. Thank
Come
you for
on
the hearts.
in.
Let me know where you're joining us from. I am excited to have you here this morning, and we're going to get things started pretty fast. Thank you. Thank you. Come in and just let us know what city, what state, where are you joining us from? What part of the world? Usually we have a global audience here, and I can see people just coming in from different platforms. So, welcome. It's the Civilized Presence and you are in the right place. Usually, we're here every Mondays and Fridays at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. We're a little bit late today because of technical difficulties. I am so sorry. I have to apologize, but I am excited that you made out time to be here. And today's session number 107. Woohoo! Look at that. We started this
Amazing.
last year and it's been amazing. I've been working with great leaders and professionals from all over the world. And I promised you that I always bring the best, and the best is always here. Just like today, you're about to find out who is here with us. Now, if it is your very first time, it's a Civilized Presence. Civilized Presence is an online TV session where lives are changed, where people discover their self, their purpose, their voice, and learn social skills to thrive in the real world. So if you want to become a change maker, you are in the right place. Welcome, Celine Osuku, madam. It's so good to have you here. I'm so honored that you made out time to be here. Some of you do not even know who I am, and you are asking, who is she? My name is Louisa Akaiso, and I am going to be your host for today. I feel so honored that you responded to the call, to the post, to the flyer. Where did you get it from? Did you see us on Instagram? Are you here on replay? Welcome. Maybe you're just joining this video as we posted it back on YouTube. I appreciate you making out time to be here. So thank you so much. Now, do one more thing. Step on out and share this video on your page. Invite your friends and family, your neighbors, your enemies too, because it's a great message. So they
Uh-huh.
can be part of what we're doing. Give us some hearts, give us some thumbs up. The heart means, Naomi, we're so excited to have you here today. And we are looking forward to this session. Thank you. Now, you might be
Thank you.
asking, what does she do? I work confidently with leaders and professionals that place great importance in themselves and their reputation. And that's going to be you this morning because you made out time to be here. Aren't you just so special? Yes, you are. Thank you for making out time to be here. And Tino, it's great to have you here. My sister from JMT, God bless you. Thank you so much for making out time to be here. Guys, I am so grateful to God. And I'm sorry if you're not a person of faith, but that's who I am, for being able to do this day after day. And thank you for believing in me, for trusting in me, and for just supporting what I do, because without you, the show will not go on. So you are so important. And that's why I want you to come on in and just say a quick hello so that I can give you a shout out as the VIP that you really are. So thank you. Now, it might be your first time. Dr. Nashan from Kenya, it's great to have you. Sandra
Hi.
from Canada, it's great to have you. Charles is here from Ghana. Thank you so much for being here. Guys, come on in. I can see Sibyl. Let me know what country you're joining us from, guys. Just let me know. Sometimes I cannot remember your countries. Do not be offended. Please forgive me. And Ricky, my friend, is here from Virginia. Thank you so much. Guys, let me know what city, what country, what state. Listen, just give us a high five and tell me who is in the house. Let me give your country a shout out. Guys, thank you so much for always being here. Simon, it's great to have you here. Dr. Simon, thank you for making out time to be here. Thank you. Guys, the goal of this Facebook series or Instagram series or wherever that you find this video is really to help restore civility in our society. And like I said, I've been doing this from last year with different experts and professionals from all over the world, really trying to break down the concepts of civility into tiny bits and how important it is, but simple for us to be civil. And you can begin with little things like saying please and thank you, or even share a compliment, just like I'm going to do right now to my guest Naomi by saying, Naomi, you look so beautiful this morning. Thank
Thank
you
you.
for being here. Thank you.
Thank you
So
for having
guys,
me.
thank you. So you can begin with little things like that. It's not that difficult, but it's just that we want you to be able to embrace this as a lifestyle. So I don't want you being civil on a Monday and Tuesday, and then on Saturday and Sunday, you start cursing around and being rude. You have to embrace this. And I understand if you've never been civil before, you're in the right place. You will always learn tips and bits that's going to help you to live the life that you want to see. You have to be the change that we want to see in the world. Civility begins with us. Nobody's going to do it for us. So, like I always would do, I'm going to share with you a definition of civility, a very simple one. And I've chosen one from Dr. Funny today. I call him the grandfather of civility. He left us a couple of months ago, but I know that he's here with us in spirit. And that states that being civil means being constantly aware of others and weaving restraint, respect, and concentration into that very fabric of awareness. And welcome, Anana. It's great to have you here. So, civility is a form of goodness, gracious goodness. You can think about civility as positive people's treatment. You can think about civility as the golden rule, treating others the way that you want to be treated. Civility is just being responsible to continuously ease the experience of the person next to you. Apologize earnestly if you have to, and refrain from idle complaints. And thank you so much, Tommy. It's great to have you here. Thank you, Janet. Thank you for being here. Guys, I'm just going to go right into the deal of today because we're a little bit delayed. Guys, if I do not see your comment right away, I want you to know that I love you very much. Okay, we're using a different system today, so I might not see your comments right away, but give us the hearts. I can see the hearts, I can see the thumbs up. So just make us feel good. Listen, if you're not nice to my guest, she's not going to come back. And in the civilized spaces, we already know how to be civil. And welcome, Stacy. It's great to have you. Simone, it's so good to have you in the house. Thank you. Welcome. Baller, it's great to have you. John Banger, thank you so much for making out time to be here. So, guys, I might not come back to shout out your name for a little bit. That's because we have to just focus on the deal of today. So, some of you might have seen the topic of today. Maybe you haven't. That's okay. The topic for today is something that affects all of us, because my guest, my audience are entrepreneurs, professionals, and leaders. And now the topic states that a strong online presence is no longer an option. It has become a necessity for your business. So if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a leader, if you're a professional, doesn't matter who you are, you need a strong online presence. We cannot hide away. And if you had gone through our post, I mean, it's interesting to see that a lot of people, almost everyone is online. But the question is, are they doing business? Are they doing the right business sometimes? Because people are online for the wrong reasons. We have our businesses tucked in a little nice box in our laptops. And when we're online, we do not show up the right way. So today you're going to learn how you can leverage all of your social media platforms to boost your visibility and increase your influence, not just to your family members or your local community, but to the global world at large. Because now on the internet, what the internet has done for us, as really, I am right here in Virginia and I am chatting with my special guest, Naomi, in Africa. Can you imagine the
Yeah.
power of using social media effectively? And that's what you're going to learn today. So, first of all, let me tell you who this beautiful guest of mine is. Her name is Naomi Osemedua. And Naomi, forgive me if I don't pronounce that right. I'm going to get it
Oh,
the
no, you
second
got
time.
it. Oh, you got it. You got
Okay,
it.
good,
Perfect.
good, good. Because I haven't had my cup of coffee. So sometimes before the cup of coffee, we can make a lot of mistakes.
Yeah.
So Naomi is a sought after international speaker and a lifestyle coach. She is obsessed about leveraging live videos, and as a global media strategist, she helps personal brands showcase their brilliance to not just their local community, but to the global market. She's the recipient of a Women of Excellence Award by the Women Economic Forum in New Delhi, India. And Naomi is on a mission to die empty. Guys, when I saw that, I said, listen, this is the best person to be on the show. Because what better thing can you achieve in life than to die empty? And I'll explain what that means for some of you who are still struggling with that. How would you feel if on your last day on earth, you look back at your life and realize that there's so many things that you should have done and you did not do?
Mm,
There's so many things that were in your brain, you never really brought them out. There's so many dreams, so many goals that you thought, oh, I'm going to do this tomorrow. I'll do this next tomorrow. I don't think it's
mhm,
the right time. I don't have the resources. I'm not the right
mhm.
person. Nobody's going to listen to me. Oh, I'm not ready yet. I think I have to go back to school. Oh my God, nobody in my family has been rich before. Oh, no, not today. No, this dream seems so scary to me. We make a lot of flimsy excuses,
Mhm,
and then on the final last day, you're taken away from earth only for you to look back and realize that you have this tons and wells of information, wells of dreams that a lot of people's lives could have been impacted by,
mhm,
but you have gone underneath 6 feet under with all of that. How would you
mhm,
feel? So,
mhm,
dying empty is really about emptying yourself to the world,
mhm,
emptying yourself to people who need your message, emptying yourself to impact people's lives. And Naomi is an expert for that. So, you will agree with me at this point that Naomi is the right person to be learning from this morning. So, I'm going to give Naomi a minute to say hello to the audience. Over to you, Naomi.
Hi, everyone. I'm live in the beautiful city of Abuja, Nigeria, in West Africa, and I am so excited to be here. Thank you so much for having me, and I'm looking forward to an exciting session. So, yeah, thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you so much. Thank you. And I can see some more people coming on in. Guys, let us know where you're joining from. Margaret, it's great to have you here. Let me know where you're joining us from. Louisa from Canada. Yay! I love to
Hey.
see you here this morning. Thank you. Thank you so much. Guys, we're just going to jump right into what we have for today because it is loaded. Okay, so I can imagine at this point you're saying, Louisa, back off, and we want to listen to the guest, and I'm ready to back off, really. So now, I mean, how this works really is to get started with the questions, begin the conversation. Sometimes we might have a question from the audience. God bless my heart that I can see the questions
Yeah.
and be able to pass them on to you because Zoom is such a wonderful network that you cannot see the questions until after, but we're going to try.
I know.
We're gonna try. We're gonna try. So, guys, bring the questions on. We have the expert in the house. You don't want to bring the questions after the expert is gone. So bring them while she's here. And I'm going to tell you a lot more about some of the work that she does in the course of this session. So, Naomi, we're just going to get started with these questions. And my very first question for you this morning, Naomi, and afternoon in Africa for you, would be what does civility mean to you? And for some people might think about civility or etiquette or social skills, whatever. What does that mean to you? Over to you, Naomi.
So for me, civility is and should be a way of life. I think for too long, we've become so immersed in ourselves and the things that
Mm,
we want. And in the process of doing that, we lose sight of everything and everyone else around us.
mm,
Civility should be how we live because it brings everyone into that space of this thing I want to do, this thing I want to say. How is it going to make the next person feel? How is this action going to affect those around me? So for me, it's really a way of life that we should all embrace for us to enjoy harmony on earth, for us to enjoy peace in the world, because there is a lot of trouble going on. And I think if we had more civil people, if we had more people who were conscious about being civil, then we would have less problems in the world. So for me, it's a way of life.
thank you so much. That is great. And this is what we talk about every Mondays and Fridays, really to making it a lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
Is not something that you're going to be civil on a Monday, and then on a
Yeah.
Saturday, you're in the
Throw caution
store.
to the wind.
Right. You're in the store, you're driving, and someone gets in front of you, you start cursing out. No, you don't want to do that. So our guest has really emphasized and reiterated that civility has got to be a way of life. And so thank you so much for all the people who are coming on. I can see that people are coming in. But if I do not mention your name, that's because you're not directly on my page, Louisa Akaiso. But I am so excited that you are here. I hope we did not lose you there. Naomi, can you hear me?
No, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. So, my very next question for you would be, why should we be intentional about doing business online? Over to you, Naomi. Yes, the video is kind of freezing a little bit. And
Oh,
welcome, Tina. Can you hear me?
yes, I can hear you. Yes,
Okay, I
I
missed you for a
apologize.
minute. No problem.
Yes.
So the question was, why should we be intentional about doing business online? Over to you, Naomi.
Okay, so that's a very powerful question because, like you rightly said, there are loads of people online, but not everyone is doing business. Statistics tell us, at least on Facebook, we have over 2 billion people. Some people are just there to watch, crazy cat videos and just do fun stuff. And that's okay. I mean, but the truth is, if you understand the power of the community that we now have on social media platforms, then you would be more intentional about putting your business and your service out there. And this is particularly important for me to talk about because it is my journey, it is my story. A couple of years ago, I was a stay-at-home mom, just trying to nurse my baby, when I found a live streaming app called Periscope. It was new because this was an era where there was no Facebook Live, there was no Instagram Live, but I was fascinated with the fact that I could touch a button and I could connect with the world. And so I stayed. I stayed even without knowing what to do, what to expect, and where it was going to take me. But I was so sure that there was something on that platform. I mean, it was so good when I was live on Periscope in 2015. People would come into my broadcast and tell me, right now, you are the only one who is live in Africa. So I was that much of an early adopter. And
Mm,
4 years later, it's fascinating the opportunities that have happened. I wrote a book that got on the Amazon bestsellers list. I was invited to speak on a TEDx platform. A second one just opened up again, this time in the US. I've been
good.
featured in every leading newspaper in my country. I've been invited to speak in Zambia, Dubai, the UK, Paris, Switzerland, India, and all of this because I am online and I am intentional about building my business and my brand. And the funny thing is, the businesses I am currently running were not existing before I got online. They were not existing. I literally built them leveraging, the digital space. And so it's so powerful for people to understand what they have in their hands. It's such a powerful platform that if you are using it appropriately, then you're able to just, grow your business and grow your brand. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I love that. And welcome, Tina. It's great to have you. Now I can see some of the comments, not all of them.
Great.
But guys, let me know where you're joining us from. And if you do have a question, bring it in. And we're discussion this morning, our conversation this morning is on having a strong a presence online.
Present.
How do you show up as a professional online? It's your presence online in alignment with your message. Is your
Mm,
presence online in alignment with your brand? Or
mm,
are you saying that you're one thing on your website, and when we see you on social media, you are a different thing? It
mm,
has to be in alignment. You know, we've
mm,
gone past the era when people, can be deceived. People cannot be deceived anymore. Everyone is so concerned with working with experts and professionals who are authentic. And
mhm.
so, you really have to be intentional about what you put out there. So my next question for you, Naomi, would be, what platforms should we be on as professionals? Over to you, Naomi.
Okay, so there are various platforms from Facebook to Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Snapchat. What I always say is find where your audience is hanging out. Some people have no business being on Instagram because perhaps their audience is more on LinkedIn. And some people
Right.
need to probably play more on Twitter instead of being on Facebook. So it's really identifying who I call your person and also identifying what their pain points are and the pleasure that you have to offer and doing that
Right.
research to knowing where they're hanging out. So for a lot of people who are professionals, who have 9 to 5, LinkedIn is a great place to be because there's a whole
Mm,
lot of high level social networking going on in that space and you need to be a part of the conversation. It doesn't mean you can't be on other platforms, but then you want to focus there because it's a very professional platform. Instagram is great for service providers, people who have products, because Instagram feeds on, vanity, as they say.
mm.
It has to be colorful, it has to be pretty, and all of that. But you can make it work for you. Again, it's really just identifying who your person is, what their pain is, and then the value that you have to offer, which becomes the pleasure that you give to them. So it's really just finding where they're hanging out after you know who they are. Because if you really don't know who you're here to serve, then you're just going to try to be everywhere. And that sometimes could be spreading yourself a little bit too thin. So that's what I would say about where you should be hanging out online.
Wow, this is great, and thank you so much for really stressing on that, because sometimes I connect with a lot of professionals or entrepreneurs. And I've met a couple of them who say, Louisa, I don't want to be on social media. I really do not like social media. Social media is not my thing. I'm a very private person. I said, really? And are you planning to make money at all this year?
Good question.
Because we all are very private.
True.
If there's something I would love to do is just kind of like just tuck it in underneath my duvet and not even
I
think about it.
know.
But
I
you
know.
have to show up whether you like it or
Mhm.
not. Oh, that is
And,
so
and this
great.
is
And
something, sorry, and this is something I always add, when people come up with that for me, I usually would ask, is there something that you have to offer? Is there something that the world needs? Do you have a
mm,
product? Do you have a product or service that people need? And if they say yes, I'm like, well, get out there. Facebook alone is giving you 2 billion people, and you
mm,
need to leverage that. So it's really about what you want and increasing your capacity. I have a famous hashtag which says no more local champion, because right
mm,
now with social media, with digital platforms, and I mean, social media is not just even all there is. There is your website, which is so important because
right.
that's your home. And I must stress that because the truth is, all these platforms are other people's playground, and they can decide to say, I don't want to play anymore. And I'm shutting down. So it's important that you also have your website. I would tell people, make sure you buy your name, get your domain. Even if you have a business name, buy your name, because we never know. You could be the next big thing tomorrow, and
That's right.
someone's going to buy your name before you figure that out and sell it to you for $1 million. And you're like, but that's my name.
That's true.
Duh, they got it first. So there's so many places to be, but the truth is, if you feel there's something that you have to offer the world, then get out of that comfort zone. And you can be on social media and things can be private. Like I don't put my kids on social media. I had a pregnancy that the entire community on social media followed me through from the beginning to the end. And when she came, I just said, "Our princess is here." I didn't even show her feet. So no one except those who've met me in person know what my daughter looks like, what they know her name, they know when she was born, but they've never really seen her on social media. Now, that's because, my husband and I choose to keep a few things out of social media because I'm very out there. Like I'm walking in the street and I'm seeing people pull me. I follow you on Instagram. I follow you on Facebook. I follow you on TikTok. I follow you on YouTube. And then they pull me on Instagram. That's freaky. And it's scary for some people that people they don't know them and you don't know
Right,
them. But I look at
right.
the influence and I look at the lives that are being transformed. Like I've got clients all over the world, and that wouldn't have been possible if I wasn't leveraging social media. So for me, the good far outweighs the negatives that sometimes people put out there.
Thank you so much,
Sorry,
Naomi.
a
Yes,
call was coming
no
coming.
problem. I
Yes,
know
so
that the network was a little fuzzy. Do you have something else to say?
yeah, no. So the thing really is just knowing what you're putting out there, and
Yes.
you can be on social media and still have some sort of privacy, pretty much.
Great. Great. Thank you so much. And welcome, Dee. It's great to have you here from Baltimore. It's so good to have you in the house. Now, this leads me to the next question for you. How can we build engagement with our audience? So let's say this person, let's build an avatar, and this person is called Sandra. Sandra has never been on social media, and Sandra just heard about social media and learned that she has to start up a new account on social media. She doesn't really know what to do when she shows up on social media. So what would be your
Hmm.
advice to Sandra? How can she build an engagement? Because Sandra is talking. She said, Louisa, what am I going to say when I get there anyway? Who's going to listen to me? How can she build an engagement with her audience that eventually will follow her or add her on social media? Over to you, Naomi.
Yeah, so the first thing I want to say is consistency. A lot of people want to show up and a lot of people see things on social media and they feel, it's just getting started and then overnight, you become a sensation. It happens, but it's not always the case. One of the things people need to understand is consistency is the name of the game. You don't want to be a one hit wonder. So whether it's putting out content weekly or putting it out daily or doing a weekly video, like you talked about this being, episode 107. I mean, and that's consistency. You stayed on. You didn't just show up one week and disappear, and everyone's wondering, where is Louisa? Well, that was such a great show. So a lot of people start and then they don't have a plan. So they don't say, this is where I'm going. For the first 1 year of doing videos, it didn't make any sense. I didn't even know it was going to be a business. I mean, until people started saying, can I pay you? How much do you charge so you can teach
Mm,
me, to do videos? That's when the idea hit that it could be a business. So I didn't even start out thinking business, but I was showing up. Sometimes I was showing up in the morning and in the evening, 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. And I had an international following. So 9 a.m. for me was like 2 a.m., 1 a.m. in the US. And I didn't even know people were staying up until one day something happened. I didn't go live at 9. And someone sent me a message and said, I was awake till 2 a.m. waiting for you to go live. And
wow.
that for me was so powerful because I
Wow.
was consistent. People got so used to staying up or waking up to watch me and going back to sleep. And that's
Mm,
powerful because when you're showing up and you're giving value, people connect with that. There's so
mm,
many people online, but they're not you. They're not you. And you must understand what makes you unique. You must understand what makes your message different. You must
mm,
understand who you're speaking to. And that's why I mentioned earlier in identifying who your person is. If you know who your person is, if you know what their pains are and how you provide the pleasure, then that's where you need to stay on. So you wake up every day and you're thinking, for this person I'm here to serve, what are they dealing with today and how can I solve it? And if you keep creating content that brings value to that person, over time you get so attractive that even people that don't fit into that avatar want to do business with you. I do a lot of work with women, but I have men who come to work with me. I don't chase them away. They find it attractive that I give solutions, and they want solutions, and so it doesn't matter. And I make room for them because it's the same principles. So really, I would just say, be consistent, know who you are here to serve, understand their pain points, not what you think they need, but what they actually need, and solve it. And just rinse
Mm.
and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat.
Wow, this is powerful, and I have some really great people come in the house. I have Christine. It's great to have you here.
Hi.
Kairos, thank you so much for joining. Thank you, Kate from Nigeria. It's good to have you. Another
Hey.
Kate too from Nigeria. It's good to have you, my friend
Hi.
from JMT. Thank you so much. I have Charles Emerua. Thank you for being here, guys.
Hi.
You know what? This system is just so crazy. Sometimes people are coming up, showing up, and I cannot see some. But I want you to know that I really care about you, and I love and appreciate you making out time to hang out with me this morning. And really, the conversation is about building a strong online presence. And I'm
Mm.
speaking to the very best this morning, the expert in the house. Her name is Naomi Osemedua, and she is the very best. She's done this, she's teaching this message all over the world. She's been on TEDx. Guys, listen, I'm going to blow my trumpet. She's amazing. She's been going everywhere. She's been to different countries and different platforms. I'm so proud of what she's doing. And listen,
Thank
she made
you.
out time to hang out with us. Bring your questions on this morning. You don't want to bring the questions when the expert is gone because Louisa might not have the right answers. No, I'm kidding. Bring it. I'm going to pass it to her. So,
Yes, I will answer.
Kate, it's great to have you. Thank you so much for being here, my sister. Thank you so much. This takes us to the next question for you, Naomi, is how do we build this content? So let's say Sister Sarah, who is our avatar, has
Yeah.
never built content before. How
Mm.
does she begin to build content? So, Sister Sarah has got maybe an NGO that deals with women's programs, for example. What kind of content can she build on for her audience? That's going to get them to want to serve her, to want to buy from her anytime she has something for sale. And how can she sell without sounding like she's selling?
Mm. Mm.
Because people have a problem with that. Sometimes a
Yeah,
lot of people just come in your face and it's like, sell, sell, sell. You need to
I
buy,
know.
buy, buy. Now, how can you get out content and be able to build trust and
Mm.
credibility with those who follow you? Over to you, Naomi.
Okay, so there's so many answers to this, but I can give one, and that is doing live videos. One of the things I love about live videos, apart from the fact that that's how I built my brand, it's established that it's one of the fastest ways for you to establish the know, like, and trust factor. So if you're
Mm,
just getting online, or if you've been online and you're trying to raise the bar, you want to raise your game, you want to
mm,
start doing videos. There's something about doing videos that gets your audience to connect with you in a very deep way. So this is me all the way in Africa, but you're seeing me, you're hearing me. Even if you've read from me before, there's something about seeing me through the screen and connecting with my energy and just seeing, like, does she really know what she's doing, or does she really know what she's talking about? And you would know instantly if there's some sort of connection, if I'm real or if I'm fluff. And that's what videos do for you. And that's why I say, before you get online, you really need to at least know your stuff. It doesn't mean
that's
you have
right.
to be like a super, super expert. I grew into this. I wasn't always like this. I was always like the last on social media. I didn't know nothing. If you found posts about me on social media, was because my church tagged me in a picture. That was how clueless I was. But the moment I got into the space, I was willing to invest in myself, invest in those who understood the platform, and I started learning. I started growing, and then it became a brand. So doing videos allows you build the know, like, and trust factor. And when
Mm,
people know you, when they like you and they trust you, then they can give you money. And so
mm,
you must keep giving value. People say, how much free stuff should I give? Look, give enough and increase your capacity. There are things that I've taught for free, but even if I put it out there as a paid program, people still come because they're like, oh, her free stuff is so good. I can't even imagine what the paid stuff is going to be like. So keep showing up and keep giving value. Again, consistency is how you build an engaged audience. You can't show up today and not show up tomorrow. Your content must be consistent, and then have a plan. Don't just show up and say, what am I going to post today? Create like a content calendar. Oh yeah, people struggle with that and then they never do anything. Like, what am I going to post today? Every time I put up a post, there are like three questions I'm asking myself. What will this post do for for my reader, for my
Mm,
audience, for my tribe, for my community? And I have a template. I'm either getting them to think, I'm getting them to dream, or I'm pushing them out of their comfort zone. And so I get a lot of people see me and say, oh my God, I go to your page. I am always so inspired. And I smile because that is the model. That is the
mm.
model, and it's not by mistake. I'm intentional about it. So there are things you will never find on my page because I know that my content, it's about visibility, it's about getting out there, it's about going global, and most importantly, it's inspirational. So you get to my page, if you felt like giving up, I'm going to push you out of that space and tell you, you got this, you can do this. So you need to create that blueprint. What do you want your audience to feel when they connect with your content? Should they be inspired? Should they laugh? Should they cry? What do you want them to feel? Create that experience for them. And again, stay consistent. Rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat. That's the name of the game. You just can't show up and then stop, or do this today and then do that tomorrow. So stay with it, but have a plan from the beginning, give value, and then once you've built that know, like, and trust factor, it becomes so easy for you to sell. Remember, I said someone asked me first, how much will I charge? So I didn't
Mm.
even go selling. They came searching to buy. And there is a way you would build your content that people are like, hey, enough already. I just want everything you've got, give it to me. I need it right now. Just send me the link. I need everything you've got. So
That's
I
just
think
that's
that
just
that's what I would
powerful.
say.
This is
Yeah.
powerful, and I just love how you put it. I kind of felt like saying an amen because that's like a sermon to me, and I
Oh
hope
my
that it was
goodness.
able to drive right to the heart, people, because I
Yeah.
received that, and that was so encouraging. You know,
Mm.
sometimes showing up is not going to be easy. It's about being intentional. You know, we
Mm-hmm.
started this sessions last year, April last year, and believe it or not. I mean, when I started April last year, I was thinking, are you serious, Louisa? I mean, how can you even show up? Like, really? You want to be in front of the camera? No, I don't think so. And at this point, all of the ugly gremlins were right behind my ears, whispering to me, nobody wants to listen to this message. This is common sense. Everybody has already known this. I mean, who doesn't know about civility? Listen, Louisa, your mother taught them about civility. They taught them in church. They taught them in the bus. Whew, let me tell you, the ugly guy behind you is going to keep whispering and being noisy.
Yeah.
Negativity is constantly whispering, but you have to have the power to say no and shut up. I'm ready
Mm.
to show up. And that's
Yep.
not going to be easy. And guys, everyone's message is valid. Listen,
Mm.
don't ever talk yourself down
Mm.
because your message activates your tribe.
Sure.
There are people who believe in you who will not believe in me.
Yep.
There are
Yep.
people who believe in Naomi who will not believe in my message. Come on now. It's like a church. There is a minister for everyone. So
Agreed.
never ever tear yourself down. Never say to yourself, oh no, nobody's going to listen to me. The minute you show up with such negative energy, nobody's really going to listen to you.
Word.
Guys, so please, that was a brainwash right here in this session. I asked Naomi for one thing, she came with two. So Naomi, thank you so much.
Thank
And let me
you.
just say, I have some more people jump in. Uyime, it's great to have you here. Thank you so much. Frank from Ghana, it's great to have you here. S.
Hi.
Alquat, it's great to have you here. Guys, let me know where you're joining us from. It's the Civilized Presence. We're here every Mondays and Fridays at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. The conversation is just about how to build a strong online presence. If you have to show up online, listen, guys, you need to show up and show strong.
Yeah.
Don't show up like you made a mistake, like you were forced to come on. You
Yes.
need to show up and show strong.
Mm,
What do you have that you think you can offer to people? You need to get in the habit of talking about it.
mm.
Now, this is going to take me to the next. Oh, Ambassador Jaja. Oh my goodness, you want to make me cry. Thank you so much for making our time to be here. Thank you. Arlene, my sister,
You.
it's great to have you here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's a full house this morning, guys. Thank you so much for
Hey.
believing in me. Thank you for trusting in what I do. Thank you for the support. I love you guys. And if you're just joining us, I don't want to say you're late to the party, but you are. So you're gonna have to watch it on replay
Catch the
when you have a
replay.
moment. I'm gonna have it on my page. I would have it on Instagram. And Sister Don't see you just jumped in. Look at that. Thank you for making out time to be here. So we're gonna continue this conversation. Another thing that bothers me so much, Naomi, is when we talk about content and people making postings on social media, it really bothers me to see professionals post the wrong thing. David, it's great to have you here, my brother from Virginia. Thank you so much. When you have members from your church join, guys, you need to sit up straight. That you
I love church.
guys don't mind me this morning. A little humor wouldn't hurt you, so it's okay. Let's have
Yes.
fun. Welcome, Lucia from Kenya. Kenya is popular here today. Thank you so
Hey,
much.
Kenya.
So sometimes we have people post some really awkward messages on their page,
Mm,
and it really
mm,
bothers me. You are showing up on a Monday, posting a message about your products, posting a message about your brand, and on Friday, something shows up in the media, or you have a misunderstanding with somebody, and boom, you get on
it's
social
on.
media and start cursing out. You
Mm,
get on social media and start using the F words. Are
mm,
you serious?
mm,
Who is going to buy your product? And well, me,
mm,
I won't buy your products.
mm,
So this is where civility comes
mm-hmm.
in how we show up, in the tone of your message, the contents of your message. Like Naomi said, you cannot just wake up and show up. You have to be intentional. You have to plan your message properly. Dr. Nashan from Kenya, it's great to have you here. You have to plan your message the right way. What are you saying to people? Sometimes we have parents online. Are you proud of your kids reading what you posted?
Good one.
The photo that you have online, are you going to be proud about that photo in 5 years to come?
Hey, very good one.
You cannot say that you are professional and then your profile photo is you lying on the beach nude. Really?
Ouch.
Put on some clothes. Okay? So, Naomi, I really wanted to talk about that because, another thing that bothers me is, we have a lot of professionals and leaders and entrepreneurs, but then, especially women, you want to
Mm,
put on clothes, and then your undergarments are showing through the photograph. Listen, there is a reason why it's called undergarment. That means it's supposed to
haha.
stay under, not on top.
Yep. We don't need to see it.
So all of those things
Mm.
have got to be in place. So Naomi, please just kind of speak to our audience because you are the expert. They want to hear from you. Why all is
You know,
this so
you,
important and how you
you,
show up? Over to you.
yeah. So this is so important, and I always say this quote. Like I had a speaking engagement this morning, and this is something I share every time I speak. The only thing necessary for evil to triumph is for good men to do nothing. There are too many people who should be online and showing us the right thing to do, but they're like behind the scenes. They're shy, they're afraid, they don't want to be out there. But in the meantime, people who don't know any better are out there and they think, you know what, I'm just going to open up today, I want to get the following. But I think it's so important for you to know that putting something online today that 3 years from now you won't be proud of is a
Mm,
no no. It's a big no no. you don't want to go down that route. Right now, social media platforms are literally like your online resume. Like when I applied for the TEDx event that is bringing me to the US later this year, like we're still doing a few things, so I can't call the specific state. Um, they said to me, after the first phase, okay, you've passed through the first phase, but we like to know the speakers that are going to be on our platforms, and so we're still doing the review. And I knew exactly what that meant. They were going to check, who is
Mm,
she? What has she put out there? And I kept saying
mm,
to myself, like, I'm very confident that they will find what they need to see. I remember speaking at an event last year, and it was the first time this particular person was listening to me, and I was shocked in front of everybody the next day over lunch. She was like, I checked you out. And I think it was like I was disappointed. I did not find what I was looking for. So for her, she felt, oh, all these speakers, who just show up and talk. I bet you there's something out there. And she went really far. Like she went
wow.
really far. And she was digging and digging and digging. And she came back and she was like, I didn't find what I was looking for. She said, you've been
Wow.
consistent with your message. And that for
Mm,
me it was a big wake up call, because the truth is
mm,
someone is always watching. And you would
that's
hear
right.
people say the internet does not forget. So you need to
Mm,
understand, especially if you're a professional, like shame on you. If you use your platform to do all sorts of things when you should be an example, when you should
mm,
be leading people the right way, shame on you. I mean, that may come as too harsh for some people, but we
that's
need to tell
okay.
ourselves the truth. We
Mm-hmm.
need to speak truth. Shame on you. If you have a platform where today you inspire, tomorrow you're cussing. Shame on you. If today you have clothes on, tomorrow you feel I need to raise my following, so I'm going to take my top off and show off my boobs and show off my butt. Like, big shame on you. Then you're not sure what you're doing. You don't know who you are, and you don't know what you carry. So I'm just going to leave it there, because I could go on and on about this. But then again, I would end with this. There are too many good people who should be on social media, but they're not on social media. So if you're listening to me and you have so much good in you and you feel you have a message, then you need to get out there, because we need more good people showing us good stuff than bad people showing us bad stuff. So get out there and stop making excuses. And there will never be a perfect time for you to get started. Yesterday is the best time. Today is even better. So start, get out there.
Thank you so much, Naomi. That was hot. Thank you, and welcome, Charma. It's great to have you in the house, guys. Listen, I just want us to go crazy right now. Give us the hearts, give us the hearts, give us the emojis, give us the emojis. Because when you do that, Facebook is gonna make this video visible to a lot more other people. Can you imagine the great message we just heard this morning from Naomi? You do not want to die with this message alone. Pass it on. Put
Pass
it
it
on
on.
your page. Start a watch party on your page. Give us some hearts. Give us some thumbs up. Guys, the hearts do not cost money. So just give it on. Give us the
Yes.
heart. Because, when Facebook sees that people are excited about the video, they're going to make it more available to a lot more people, put it on
Awesome.
everyone's timeline. And this is a message that is so timely for all of us. And Naomi, I'm going to say a big thank you to you, for the work that you do. You're sharing your gift to the world, you're impacting lives. I cannot thank you enough, because you are doing amazing every single day. I go to your platform and I see the great messages. There's always something to lift you up. And Naomi, I'm going to give you a moment to kind of tell the audience about other things that you do, because I know that you have other groups, Women with Stories. Can you tell us a bit
Yes.
about that, and so we can learn more
Okay.
about you?
Thank you. Thank you so much. So again, like I started in the beginning, there was nothing. So right now I have my personal brand. That's the Sparkle with Naomi company, where I work as a visibility strategist. And it's basically teaching people how to go from local to global, getting
Mm,
out there, being visible, spreading your message to the world and not just your local community. But I also lead a movement called the Women with Stories, which was
mm,
born out of my own journey, my own story of surviving domestic abuse and becoming the Sparkle Queen. So um, alongside my team, help women to find and own their unique stories, discover their cure, and serve others. Because we believe that whatever it is that you've gone through and survived, God has given you a cure. And the cure is not just for you, it is so that you can serve others. And the truth is, you can actually profit from it. So I've had people come to me with all sorts of stories, and some would even say, "Nah, I don't have a story." I remember a client who came, and the first day we met, she was like, I was like, "What do you like to talk about?" And she was like, "I like to talk about structure." And I said, "What's your story?" And this is something any business owner can actually apply. And she was like, "I don't have a story." I'm like, "You have a
Mm,
story. You can't just be in, talking about structure. What's your story?" And then what followed was a heart wrenching story of working with a family member, but nothing was in black and white. And after 9 years, she moved on. Guess what? Family member came after her to say, "You owe me money, like thousands and thousands of dollars. In my currency, millions." And she went back and forth with the law. She went into custody, police. It was horrible. Family was fighting, family. And long story short, she ended up paying about 24 million in my
mm,
currency. And that was devastating for her because this was family. This was someone who said, "No, don't worry, stay with the business." And there I looked at her. I said, "Well, that's your story. That's your 24 million naira story." And she was like, "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah." So every time you have to talk about structure, there is a story that when people hear, they want to listen because they don't want to lose that kind of money. So whatever you have to say about structure, they need it. And a couple of weeks ago, we met, and she said, "There you go." And she has written a book. She came with a manuscript. And that book can go on to be not just a book, but she can go on tours. She can have a workshop. She can have a live event. I mean, she can create anything from one single story. So it's so powerful for business owners really to understand why they do what they do and what their brand stories are and how to tell it. Because if you
mm.
understand your story, then you really have no fear for competition. You have no fear of what others are doing because their story, so billion people could be talking about what you're doing, but your story is different. So that's the
That's
women
true.
with stories, but again, it's something that applies to everyone. So those are the two things I do. I tell stories and I help people become visible to the world.
I think that is not just two. That's amazing. That is great that you're doing
Thank
that
you.
because I always say that your story is your currency. Your
Mm,
story is your uniqueness. Nobody else is
word.
like you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, your story is your uniqueness, is your currency, is that gift that only you has. That
Mm-hmm.
special gift from God to you, if you're a person of faith or whoever you believe in, that's what it is. No
Yeah.
one is going to take it. It's like your DNA. It's like your
Yep.
fingerprint. It's not going to be the same as somebody else. There could be a lot of people. Everyone can be an entrepreneur. Everyone can be a speaker. Everyone can be a coach. But your story is the unique and that delicious sauce and ingredient that only you brings. So we have
Mm.
to get to the point where you can embrace and love and leave and show up
Yeah.
and be proud of your story. And
Word.
if you want to work with your story, Naomi is available. She's taking on clients. If you're here in Virginia, she's coming on to Virginia in
Yay.
a couple of weeks, and she would be happy to work with you. You can follow her on social media. It's Naomi Osemedua. It's the Women with Stories. Did I get it right?
Yes, the women with
Perfect.
stories on Instagram,
Perfect.
Facebook, everywhere.
Yes, absolutely. So you can follow her and be part of what she's doing. If you want to buy her book, I'm going to get the link from her and we will post the link to the book right here,
Thank
right
you.
after the session. You can read of all the great things that she's doing. And Naomi, thank you so much for sharing your
Thank
awesomeness.
you.
Thank you for sharing your gift. And thank you, Uyime. Thank you so much. She says, Naomi, thank you. Naomi and Louisa, thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank
It's so
you.
great to have everyone here. Guys, like I said, we're here every Mondays and Fridays at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. If you're just joining us, I can see a lot of us are sharing the videos. I can see some of us are
Thank you.
creating watch parties. Guys, thank you so much for doing this. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I cannot thank you enough. But
Thank you.
you need to come back here on Monday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. We're going to be back with another great message. And like I said, we're going to be starting a study very soon, a book study. And the book study is going to be on my book, The Civilized Leader. So I don't know of how many of you have gotten your copy. Let me say thank you first of all to those of you who have grabbed your copy already. But please grab your copy so that you can follow along as we begin the book study. I remember that I always have the book studies as a lunch hour session, and that's different from our Mondays and Fridays. And a lot of people will ask me, Louisa, we haven't seen you here back on lunchtime. Lunchtime is when we're able to dance a little to maybe a Nigerian music or an African music. We have a little fun and then we learn for 10, 15 minutes. So guys, we're going to get started with that very soon. Now, some of you had asked me for the link for True Civility. It's available. Go on Amazon. Just put in my name and you should be able to grab all of what we have on Amazon. So some of you have already done that, and I want to say a big thank you to you. Now, if you think that you have an amazing and great message and you would love to be featured in our sessions, in our show, and welcome, Baker. It's great to have you here, my friend. Thank you. If you think that you want to be featured, send me an email, Louisa at thecivilityacademy.com. Louisa at thecivilityacademy.com. I would be happy to schedule a chat with you because I always want to make sure that your message is in alignment with what we're doing. You see, we just talked about alignment this morning, guys. So I don't want to be saying one thing and then showing up with another. So I have to be in line. I've learned
Yes.
so much this morning. So I can schedule a chat with you and just get to know what you're doing and make sure that it's in alignment with what we're doing, and we will be happy to bring you on the show as soon as we have a spot available. But send me an email if there is a topic that you want to learn about. And thank you to those of you who have been sending me mails. I've received so many mails and people are saying, Louisa, we need those sessions for families. We're bringing the family sessions back again. Parenting was a hot topic last year, and it's great to have you here, Sister Kate, because I know that's your topic. People are asking for parenting, for me to bring back parenting again, and I'm going to do that again. So, guys, have a wonderful rest of your weekend. And make sure that you watch this video again, just like I'm going to, because there are some really hot nuggets and things that you can learn from this video. If you still have a question to bring on later on, post it in the comment box, send me an email or send me a message in my inbox or send a message to Naomi directly, and we will be happy to deal with those questions because your questions are going to help other people. So, guys, I really hate to let you go. I'm serious, but I have to because
Ah,
I have to be civil. If not, Naomi's not
yes.
gonna come back another time. So I have to respect her time. So guys,
Thank you.
thank you so much for being here, for spending time with me on a Friday morning, and have a wonderful rest of the day. Bye for now.
Bye.